Hello and welcome back to NFTV Extra. The Euros are on the horizon and me, Harry and Liam are going to decide who is going to be winning the Euro 2020, even though it is 2021.
NFTV Extra.
Are England going to win it or somebody else going to win it? Liam, I'm going to let you start with you. Before we talk about England and where we think maybe England can get to this summer, who are your favourites for this tournament?
France and Portugal. I think with France, if you just look at the players on the team sheet, it's an unbelievable team. Obviously, they won the World Cup a couple of years ago, and I think with Portugal, with Ronaldo, he's always got that chance where he's going to pull worldies out the bag. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, they won the Euros a couple of years ago themselves, didn't they? So I don't think they won a game till something like quarter-finals, I think, if I'm mistaken. So I think it's all to play for. I think obviously England have got a good chance, but I think they're going to be the three dominant ones.
Harry, are France your favourites for this competition?
I'd much the same, France and Portugal for me, but France probably edge it just because their experience of winning the World Cup, experienced players, the likes of Mbappe, Benzema, Griezmann, they've got high talented professionals all over the pitch in every position. So France are a really strong outfit for this tournament, I think, yeah.
They really are, and I think as well, Liam, we've spoken before briefly that teams like Germany, Italy have always had good tournaments. Obviously Germany didn't have a good World Cup a couple of years ago, but they've always strong. They're always semi-finals minimum, aren't they? And we've always got to keep an eye on them, but they're not. Both of them aren't as strong as what they used to be, are they?
Yeah, I think both international teams are going through a transformation period, aren't they, where they're getting rid of like the old guard and bringing in new fresh talent. So I think obviously, like you said, they're going to be our dark horses for the tournament. So it's going to be interesting to see who the quarterfinals and the semi-finals are going to be. But yeah.
In terms of the home nations, Harry, you look at England, Scotland and Wales. We'll talk, we're going to mention England towards the end of this video. Can Scotland or Wales get a bit of a surprise? You look at Scotland, they're in the same group as England, along with Croatia and the Czech Republic. It's going to be tough for Scotland, but for Wales, you'd like to think that with the players that they've got, it's probably slightly stronger than Scotland. Do you think they potentially could get to, say, last 16 quarter-finals for Wales? They've done it before. They got the semis last time around, didn't they?
Yeah, I think often with Wales, it's dependent on one man, and I think that's probably going to be a similar case. Gareth Bale, if he stands up for Wales, then I think they'll have a lot of a stronger chance of getting through. Obviously, they've not got the strongest group. I know they've got Italy, but they've got Turkey and Switzerland, who probably perform better than you might think, but Wales have got that star man in them, so if they can unlock Gareth Bale, likes of Aaron Ramsey as well, I think they've got a good chance of going to the last 16. Yeah, and for Scotland, I don't see them doing too well, but because of the way the tournament works, they could come third and still get through. So you never know, they might get there too.
It's a bit of a dark horse, isn't it? If he finished third in the group, you could end up actually getting to the last 16 because of obviously being 24 teams in the competition. Liam, before we touch about England, who's your dark horse? If there's someone that you'd like to mention, is maybe a Croatia have always got a bit of experience, haven't they? You got the likes of Modric, and they always seem to do okay in this sort of tournament. Or is there someone else that I've missed out?
I can't really think of many other teams, to be fair. I think we've already mentioned all the teams that are going to be dominant. I think, like you said, Croatia are probably going to be the darkest horse out of everybody because obviously I think they got to the final of the World Cup a couple of years ago, but I think they're an aging team as well, and they don't seem to have brought through any youth talent yet, but it could be all coming down to experience. It's a 90-minute game. In over 90 minutes, it could be better than anybody on the planet. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah, it's going to be fascinating seeing the tournament starts on the 13th of June, which, well, for England it starts on the 13th of June. I think it's next Friday where the actual competition starts, so it's going to be really fascinating seeing what happens. But England do play against Croatia. I think it's the 13th of June next Sunday, which we'll obviously be watching the game as well. Harry, we've done a video already for the squad and what our squad would have been. That'll be on the channel very, very soon. But how far can England go? Can they win the whole thing? Or are we just a little bit too short in a couple of positions?
I think the squad's definitely got the potential to win it. I think there's definitely the ability there. Centre-back's a bit of a worry with Maguire injured and the likes of Cody and Mings maybe having to play a bit more of a part than you would think. So I think centre-back's an area to worry about. But the midfield and attack and the full-backs as well, phenomenal. Even without, forget about the right-backs, the left-backs are phenomenal. 4 right-backs, it's too many. But, the choice there is outstanding. and you know, you'd like to Foden, Grealish, even Rashford and Sterling are talked about not starting in the team. It's phenomenal, the midfield and attack for England. So I worry a bit about the defence, but other than that, I think we can definitely get to at least the semis, I would say. But it just depends on who you get in the round of 16 and so on, I suppose.
How confident are you, Liam? Because again, people will look at that defence and go saying, apart from right back, possibly the left back. So again, Harry makes a good point. Chilwell, Shaw, and potentially even Kieran Trippier could play in that position on the off game. The centre back still worry you, but going forward, we do frighten every single team, even France.
Yeah, obviously we're like we've said. I think the attack is what we're best area, but I think it all comes down to your keeper really, and I think I can easily see Pickford making some mistakes in this tournament, because I think he's shown it in the Premier League. He's a bit of a bottle job and high intensity. Obviously when he plays us, he seems to bottle it all the time, but he hasn't seemed to bottle it for England yet. But yeah, I think hopefully he just doesn't play two centre holder midfielders, because we're just going to have no creativity. We're just going to have a back seven realistically, and I don't think four players can really dominate teams like we should be doing. But I think we're not going to play against many teams that'll have more possession so we just need to be clinical. I think that's been the problem with England in tournaments previously as well, being clinical. Would get all the way up to the final third and then just bottle it from there. But I think we can be quietly confident in England getting quite close to the final and not even winning it, or even winning it, should I say.
Who's winning the Euros this year?
France.
And where are England going to finish? Where are they going to end up?
I think semis or final.
Harry, who's going to win the Euros?
France as well for me.
And where are England going to finish?
Semi-final.
I'm going to go France as well. I think they've just got a little bit too much, particularly midfield. Kante, if he's on form, he always seems to win trophies. So I'm going to go France to win it. I think England might just be the runners-up to France at Wembley on July the 11th. But get your comments in. Do you agree with me, Liam and Harry, and where England are going to finish? Where do you think England's strong points are? And is there anybody that we haven't mentioned? Who are the dark horses for this competition? Like and subscribe to NFTV Extra, and we'll see you all very, very soon.